Well, if Senator Moreno would be open perhaps to a couple of questions, just to clarify the record, because we had a bit of Washington play acting just a moment ago. Uh, Senator Moreno, is it accurate that you and virtually every other Republican have voted 14 times to reopen the government?
We voted 14 times to end debate so that we could actually vote to open the government, yes.
And is it accurate that Senator Rosen and virtually every other Democrat has voted 14 times to keep the government closed?
Yes, her colleague from Nevada has bravely fought Chuck Schumer and has voted to open the government. So has John Fetterman and Angus King from Maine. So I applaud 3 Democrats for actually having the decency, the humanity to be able to pay government workers, pay our military, provide Head Start, provide SNAP benefits.
And is it accurate that Democrat Senator John Fetterman has repeatedly said this is a Democrat shutdown caused by Chuck Schumer and the Democrats?
Yeah, and I find it ironic that my Democrat colleagues will go to lobbyist dinners tonight, which they get fed steak, while people in their own constituents in their own states will not know where to get money to buy their groceries, or in the case of SNAP recipients, not be able to buy basic goods.
Is it also accurate that during the Biden presidency, 13 times Republicans worked with Democrats to pass a clean continuing resolution?
You would know better, Chairman, but I don't think there's ever been a time in U.S. history where a clean continuing resolution has been voted down by either party. And
is it accurate as well that CNN has fact-checked multiple Democrats who've insisted this is not a clean CR, and CNN, sometimes called the Clinton News Network, sometimes called the Communist News Network, has fact-checked the Democrats and said, no, this is in fact a clean CR that your party is voting against?
Yes, although I do wonder whether they've actually read the legislation, because that evidently is something that's optional. But I would assume if they have read it or took the time to read it, they'd realize it's their budget that they passed, and they're blocking this through a procedural technicality that prohibits us from actually taking a vote to reopen the government.
The record will reflect that every one of the questions we just engaged in is objectively true, and it says something that not a single Democrat is here to contest it, that their approach to this is instead to scream and yell while consistently voting to keep the government shut down and to deny pay to thousands of federal workers, including, within this committee's jurisdiction, some 50,000 TSA agents who are going to work right now. They missed their last paycheck. They're not being paid, including some 14,000 air traffic controllers who are going to work right now. They're not being paid. And the consequence, we are seeing delays at airports all across the country. We are seeing thousands of delays. We are seeing thousands of flight cancellations. We are seeing ground stops in major airports. And I would note one senior Democrat aide told Politico this shutdown will continue until planes start falling from the sky. For a committee with jurisdiction over aviation safety, that is a horrifying statement. And yet, for our Democrat colleagues, apparently they agree with those sentiments. I have 28 letters of support from various organizations for the nominations of Mr. McCormick, Mr. Edwards, and Mr. Morse. I ask unanimous consent that these letters be inserted into the hearing record. Without objection, so ordered. Senators will have until the close of business on November 7th to submit questions for the record. The nominees will have until the close of business on November 10th to respond to those questions. This concludes today's hearing. The committee stands adjourned.
During a Senate committee hearing, Republicans and Democrats continued to spar over who is responsible for the ongoing government shutdown. One Republican senator questioned a colleague to clarify the record on recent votes. He noted that Republicans have voted multiple times to advance measures aimed at reopening the government, while accusing most Democrats of voting to block those efforts. According to the exchange, Democrats in the Senate have repeatedly opposed moving forward on what Republicans describe as a clean continuing resolution, legislation that would temporarily fund the government at current levels. The Republican senator also pointed out that a few Democratic senators have broken ranks, voting in favor of reopening the government. He further stated that during the Biden administration, both parties have typically supported temporary funding measures, emphasizing that rejecting a clean resolution is historically unusual. One notable moment in the hearing came when the senator referenced a recent fact-check from CNN, which confirmed that the current funding proposal does not contain additional policy changes. contrary to claims by some Democrats who say the legislation is politically motivated. The senator then highlighted the impact of the shutdown on federal workers. He pointed specifically to TSA employees and air traffic controllers who are currently working without pay, leading to significant airport delays and flight disruptions nationwide. A quote from a senior Democratic aide published in Politico suggesting the shutdown could continue until planes start falling from the sky was raised as a point of concern, particularly given the committee's oversight of aviation safety. The hearing concluded with procedural business, including entering letters of support for several pending nominations into the official record. Senators have until November 7th to submit additional questions, and nominees will have until November 10th to respond. The committee then adjourned.